We live?
Yeah.
Hello, welcome. So this evening we're going to be doing our miraDry treatment on our lovely model. I'm Stevie, one of the nurse practitioners at the Karidis Clinic. Behind the camera we have Kimberly. She's going to be asking the questions that people are asking on the live and talking a bit about miraDry.
Thank you, Stevie. So welcome to our viewers who are watching this live, and if you are actually watching this on the replay, we really want you to get involved. So please feel free to comment, ask any questions you might have, and we'll try to answer them during this live, or we will get back to you. And we want you to stay tuned, because at the end of this we're going to announce our miraDry promotion and also the exclusive offer to our Instagram watchers. So we'll have a code at the end of this so you can receive a reduction on your treatment before Christmas. So some of you might not know this, but November is hyperhidrosis month, which is why we wanted to share our miraDry treatment with you. And if you didn't know, miraDry is a permanent reduction to underarm sweating. So you've already met our wonderful nurse Stevie. When you inquire with us about miraDry, you will have a phone consultation with Stevie, and then you will come in for your treatment on another day. So we've also got our lovely patient here who's been treated and has already had her underarms numbed. So I just want to ask our lovely patient, can you feel any pain currently?
No pain.
Perfect. And just on this treatment, like, what are you most excited for about the results?
Wearing whatever I like, not worrying about sweat patches, be able to go to the gym, not worry, and get on with every day without sweating.
Yeah, awesome. So if you're watching this, please hit the heart icon if you like the sound of miraDry. Also, as I said, stay tuned to get your exclusive code for further discount off our miraDry promotion. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Stevie. Can you kind of talk us through the treatment?
Yes, of course. So the treatment will begin with a local anaesthetic injection to both underarm. We've already done that part. It does involve a series of small injections, very, very tiny needles, but still we're aware that some viewers might not necessarily like that, so we've done that, gone ahead and done it prior to the live. So everything should be numb. Can you feel anything? So that's exactly what we want. So sometimes there are areas that can feel quite warm through the treatment, so I've already reassured our patient and told her if we do feel any hot spots, please let us know, and we will then apply some more local anaesthetic. We then, once everything's numb, begin the treatment, and that is what we're going to go ahead and do now. So I guess I will perform the treatment and I will talk you through it as we go, and perhaps you can ask questions. Please feel free to ask whatever you would like, if you're interested in the treatment or you're just here to find out what it's all about.
So we actually do have a question, Stevie, and it's actually more for our beautiful model here. Did the injections hurt?
They're just a small little prick, just slightly.
You can be as honest as you want.
Yeah, it wasn't unbearable. Yeah, I found it okay. Yeah.
You tolerated it certainly
Yeah.
very well. So. And they are, I promise, very teeny tiny needles. The thought of it is much worse. So that really is the part of miraDry that is essentially the worst part. Once everything's numbed, the treatment itself should be pain-free, very comfortable, and actually it gets a little bit boring, I say to my patients, after a while. You're just lying on the couch while I'm doing the treatment, and it's pretty comfortable.
Okay, another question. Can you safely use miraDry in the face yet, or only underarms?
Unfortunately not. So miraDry is only now licensed for the underarms. There are other treatments available for other areas of the body, such as hands and feet, but no, miraDry is only for underarm sweating.
Okay, perfect.
So what I do is I select a treatment energy for every patient, depending on their anatomy. So somebody with a lower body weight would get a sort of a lower treatment in terms of energy, and somebody with a high body weight could probably tolerate a little bit of a stronger treatment. We're going to go sort of middle ground with our treatment today, and we will also select the size of template for everybody's underarm. So of course, for a man probably would be looking at having a bigger one, females generally have a smaller one. So, I don't know if you can see it, there is a template already applied to the axilla, and that will just guide me for where I need to deliver my energy during the treatment. This is the handpiece. This is how it looks. It has, as you can see, a silicone suction area that goes against the skin, vacuums the skin in, delivers the energy, and that is essentially what heats up the underarm, which destroys the odour glands, the sweat glands, and hair follicles.
So we've got another question, Stevie. How long does it last, and do you need top-ups?
It's permanent, so it lasts always. And no, you don't need top-ups, but we always tell patients that there's a potential that you might need a second treatment. One treatment is normally enough for most patients. 15% of patients return for a second treatment at our clinic, but it's all dependent on your results and more or less what your outcome expectations are. Some people are quite happy to just reduce their sweating, but some are looking to try and achieve no sweating. I'm going to go ahead and start the treatment, so I'm going to apply it to the first treatment area. If you do feel heat, let me know, and we can go ahead and put some more anaesthetic. So, just applying it here. I'm just going to press a button, it suctions in, delivers the energy. Anything?
No, nothing.
Great. And then it applies some cooling. So after the heating has finished, it applies some hyperhidrosis cooling, which just cools down the skin to try and reduce the amount of inflammation that we get post-treatment. So I'm just going to move it across and try it in. And it is just that.
And who's suitable for this treatment?
Most people are suitable. There are some contraindications to the treatment. To name a few, anybody with a pacemaker, any electrical implanted devices, anybody that's had a history of cysts under their arm or with a condition called hidradenitis suppurativa, they're not suitable for the treatment. Obviously anybody under 18, unfortunately, aren't suitable for the treatment either. Some patients with autoimmune diseases, it all depends on the disease and how well controlled it is and what stage it is. There are some patients, but of course, during a consultation, we could establish what your medical history would be and if you'd be a suitable candidate for the treatment. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, we've got some really great questions coming through. So another question from Mark Halifax is, if you had miraDry under the arms, would it help stop sweating from other parts of the body?
It would. It's a localised treatment, so we would only stop the sweating in the area that we have treated. So it would only be the exert effect.
Okay. And from Kruger Media UK, does it also reduce odour?
It does. So the three things that it targets in the subdermal area is sweat glands, odour glands and hair follicles. So all three of those would be reduced from this treatment. Although it's predominantly targeted as a sweat treatment, those I guess are added benefits.
Okay, perfect. And just back to our wonderful patient, are you in any pain?
No, nothing.
Do you feel any sensation?
Just a little tingle.
It's almost like patients often say it's like a little bit like electricity in the underarm, but not an uncomfortable. Just
No, it's not uncomfortable.
a bit of a tingling, prickly feeling.
So I've got some other questions that have been sent in to us. What reduction of sweat can I expect after my first treatment?
miraDry have a study and they will advertise that their treatment can get you up to an 82% sweat reduction on average. Now their study is on a group of patients that all had 2 miraDry treatments. Previously, miraDry was monitored as a 2-part process, so you'd have one treatment, and 12 weeks later you'd have a second one. But lots of patients were finding they didn't really want the second one or didn't really warrant it or need it, so that was scrapped and miraDry was then split up as a 1-part process. If you then decide to go on for a second one, then you can. So the studies will say 82% on average, but everybody is very different, and that's anatomically everybody's very different. Sweat glands are situated at different depths. It's impossible to say, but on average, I would say about 80% from one treatment.
Okay. And another question we got here, how soon after my first treatment can I have my second?
It has to be a minimum of 12 weeks after your first treatment to have your second.
Okay. So another question here. So I just dislike sweating on a night out on my nice shirts, but I do not have hyperhidrosis. Can I still have the treatment?
Yes, is the answer. Although it is marketed as a hyperhidrosis treatment, yes, it can be for sweat reduction in anybody if it's something that bothers you or affects your everyday life.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and then lastly, how soon before my wedding day should I get this treatment?
I would certainly allow the 12 weeks prior, because for some patients their recovery period is a lot longer. I would only really anticipate about a 3-week maximum recovery time. Usually it's much sooner than that, but everybody responds very differently. I would say that sometimes patients experience an extended amount of numbness or tingling or water sensation to the underarm, so to entirely get over all of those symptoms, probably allow 12 weeks at least.
Okay, perfect. And then also relevant for our patient here, what aftercare is needed?
So, the aftercare is the most important part of the procedure, so it's a very good question. There are a few things I'd ask you to do. Firstly, washing the underarms at least 3 times a day is really important. We want to rid the entire area of any bacteria built up. Any presence of bacteria can start to break down the integrity of the skin on the underarm, especially when it's quite vulnerable after a treatment. I've done lots of injections there, so it's important to keep it clean. You can't exercise for at least a week. We ask that you don't bath or submerge your underarms in water for at least 2 weeks. Don't have any friction to the underarms if possible, so really just taking it easy for the next week after your treatment, and wearing loose-fitting clothing.
Okay, perfect.
We'll also give you some ice packs to take away, and you apply them as frequently as you can over the next 3 to 5 days, just to cool everything down and to help with that inflammation.
Great. And I guess just back to our patient, would you say this has been an easy, painless process? Or what would you say is the most painful part?
The most painful part I would say would be the anaesthetic and the injections at the beginning. But once the injections went in, the area started numbing. I didn't feel the rest of the injections. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one certainly helps, like it spreads, and then it helps for the rest of them to be a little bit less painful.
Okay, well, we're coming to the end of this live. We're going to let you get on with your treatment in private, but I know everyone's been eager to hear what our offer is, and thank you for sticking around to hear that. So, until the end of 2023, so till the end of December, we're going to be offering £295 off our usual treatment price. And if you call and quote the following code, miraDry 100, that's miraDry 100, you will not only receive a complimentary phone consultation with our wonderful nurse Stevie, but you will also receive a further £100 off our current offer. So quoting that code, you'll get $395 off our current price, our usual price. So that means you can come in and have the treatment in time for the holiday season. So just letting you know again, quote miraDry 100 when calling to book your consultation, and yeah, come and get your treatment done with the beautiful Stevie. And yeah, we'll leave you to it now, guys.
Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you here soon.